By the way, Truefire are running a 10-week boot camp. So it's a weekly video overview, in-depth video lesson, tiered homework assignments, community feedback, discussion, live Zoom session, and all of this for 10 weeks. Yeah, get involved. That's free, and you know, I'm a fan of the Truefire stuff anyway. One of the more interesting guitars to come out, there's actually like a couple of things that happened. There's the Fender Mexican standards, not Mexican anymore, Indonesian standards. There's the Ibanez AZ Standard, and I kind of thought, actually, looking at those Mexican specs, Indonesian specs, makes this Ibanez really pop out even more. So I kind of just wanted to do a little bit of a video just talking about that while I wait for my Fender Indonesian Standard to arrive. By the way, here I'm using the Helix preset, Camino Full Helix 2025. It's like in the Helix folder, one of the newest ones, but it's kind of got that 80s vibe to it. Is impressive about this guitar. So I think the thing that set this whole thing in motion, I think, is the Sire Larry Carlton guitars, as well as Harley Benton, like a two-pronged attack here. So Harley Benton have been really speccing their guitars in a pretty serious way, and have really definitely been leading this kind of stainless steel frets on guitars under, you know, 1,000. It's very rare to find stainless steel frets on guitars under 2,000 even. You know, like the Ibanez AZ, Indonesian and Japanese both have them. But generally guitars don't seem to have them, kind of a bit of a premium feature. So this guitar, let's talk about all of the specs and stuff. The only thing for me that I don't really like about a guitar is the pearloid scratch plate. I don't know why guitar companies insist on doing these, but someone out there somewhere must like them. Leave a comment below if you're a pearloid fan. Pearloid would be the word, right? Anyway, so what we got going on here? So we've got like a graphtech style nut, which I think is actually partly the reason that this doesn't have incredible tuning stability out of the box. I haven't changed anything on this out of the box as well, guys. I just wanted to give it like a fair, you know, this is what someone else could expect if they were buying one of these guitars, as close as possible at least. We got a roasted maple Nice piece of wood here for the neck. It will say made in China. I don't know why I've been talking about Indonesia all this time. This is a Chinese made guitar. Tuners, whatever they call this neck join. But nice upper fret access. We've got a bit of a recess here. You can get in and adjust those springs without taking that back off. Transparent finish here. I can't remember exactly what the body wood is, but this top here is like Jatoba, this fretboard wood. So it's not laurel, it's not rosewood, it's not ebony, it's another wood altogether. I think they use this on the AZ Essential series as well. That's one aesthetic thing which maybe looks a little bit lighter. Yeah, it kind of looks like a very light rosewood, I would say. Then we've got the same Mix 9 switching thing going on here. This trem, which is 6-point non-Goto, and then these are some Ibanez branded pickups. So you lose the Goto hardware, you lose the Seymour Duncan pickups, and other than that, it seems to keep most of the DNA of an Ibanez AZ. 12-inch radius, 25.5-inch scale length. Now, with all that said, like, the specs should be there to feel pretty good. This, I have to say, it's pretty good, but it's not getting me sort of to great vibes. What I said in the first impressions video is that these frets, for stainless frets, feel a little bit rough. Don't know if you'll be able to hear that. It's one of those things on some guitars from this part of the world, sometimes the cheaper stuff, a little bit less attention spent polishing these frets, and you end up with, I think that gives it a bit of a cheaper feel, because, you know, things like bends, you've got this kind of battling against a bit of fretboard friction, whereas, you know, on like the Yamaha Revstar that I played that had stainless steel frets, that's a point actually. The Yamaha Revstars made in Indonesia do have stainless steel frets, so that's one non-premium guitar manufacturer that has managed to do that at a cheaper price. Anyway, so that's the one area which really doesn't give you that sort of the benefit of stainless steel frets. So this is just one guitar. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of AZ standards out there which are polished and feel fresher than that at the factory, but this is not uncommon to see from a brand like Harley Benton or Sire or Jet or any other brand. Like, sometimes frets just don't get polished as much as maybe you might like. But the neck shape, very comfortable. I just think it might benefit from being taken to a tech, and then you might have a really good solid guitar on your hands. The other thing that I don't think you get so much from this cheaper end of the market sometimes unplugged, they don't give the most inspiring sort of feel, but it's an electric guitar, do you know what I mean? But some guitars really do feel pretty inspiring to play. This is not bad at all, but yeah, not necessarily the most resonant thing. But again, under £500, you know, most guitars under this sort of price don't necessarily jump out with super special vibes, I guess would be kind of the thing for me. But all in all, the specs I think are great. The actual execution of this particular guitar I wouldn't say is as impressive as some guitars. I've been more impressed by some Sire Larry Carlton guitars that I've tried. But the specs on this, I think, in some cases beat that. You know, you don't get stainless steel frets on the Sire stuff unless you go up to like £1,200-ish. So it's an impressive thing that Ibanez have done. Equally, I think like that Yamaha Revstar, the Indonesian one that I bought to review on the channel. I think maybe that one might be a good bet, but I think those are a bit more expensive than these as well. So at this price point, really, you'd be looking at Harley Benton to compete with, in which case I think you might find some interesting differences, some interesting similarities, but I'm looking forward to checking out the Fender Standard and picking that against this in some regards, see what happens. I think also the PRS C24 Saturn I want to put into the mix because it's like a even cheaper guitar, but I think actually had some things which I like even more than this. I'll catch you in another video soon. Hope that was okay to talk about, and let me know what you think of the Ibanez AZ Standard. Have you tried one? A good guitar, a great guitar, a good idea for sort of modding as a modding platform. You know, I don't actually think a huge deal of the Seymour Duncan pickups that they put in the full Ibanez AZs. Maybe a guitar like this, stick in some pickups that you know you like, Lola Dirty Blondes or something like that. I think it looks better than a Yamaha Pacifica, certainly the older models, maybe the newer models I'd prefer to these, but those are like twice the price. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Would you be grabbing one? What do you reckon?